What's up, everybody? I just got this Snap Studio portable vocal booth in the mail. And I just want to do a quick unboxing, give my first impressions, show what's inside the box. And to be certain, I am not in association with this company. I am not getting money for this. In fact, I myself paid about $500. So I just got in the mail and I just want to give my first impressions and, show y'all what to think about it, because when I was trying to research it, I really couldn't find anything about it. So it says on the box, no blades, but I'm just going to use a standard issue steak knife to open this thing up. Okay, as you can see, it came with this little wrapper inside of it, and this would be an adjustable clip mount holder. I think this would be for a phone or an iPad. Not sure yet. We'll get into it. Okay. This, I think, might be the bag. Maybe give this thing an open first, see how this looks. Let's see here. Alright. Okay. I have to say that the quality of this is really something. On the photos, it just looked like a cheap little nylon bag, but this thing is anything but. This is heavy duty. Really meant to carry some heavy product, and very impressive. Very nice beefy zippers on this thing too. Maybe check out the size of these things a little bit. If they show up, Alright, set that aside. Okay. So these are the posts. So they feel like PVC piping. Okay. So, and by the way, even though this is PVC, seems like there's enough in here that this thing does feel rather heavy. It doesn't really give the thought, wow, it's portable at first. So here's another one. So what's this thing? Okay. So it says a thank you letter here. See if that shows up. Give a couple of Energizer batteries, 8 double A's. This here is, not sure what that is. Whenever I figure it out, when I put it together, I'll tell you what that is. These are some lights. So there's some on-off switches right here. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. It looks like these might be like straps that you use to hold this thing up. This might be spare straps. There you go. And then an instruction booklet. Okay, just set those aside. And I mean, I don't have to show you every single post, right? But what I do want to do is look at these blankets real quick. And see if there's something deeper in the box. I don't think so. But these are quite thick. If you're maybe familiar with moving blankets, I would say they're about twice as thick as a standard moving blanket. So, it's advertised as being able to stop like 80% of room noise or reverb. And I don't know anything about that stuff, so I'm not going to say if I could fill it and tell you how much reverb it's going to stop, but I imagine it'll be more than zero reverb. Okay, and that's all that's unique in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to build this thing on camera, and I'm going to let you know how long it took me. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the instructions. It looks like all the pieces are more or less identical. But yeah, let's get to building. Okay, I wasn't able to get everything on camera really, but this is just a general idea. Just put the post in, lay down a mat, put the post in, and yeah. So it turns out that that bag of straps I thought were spares, they actually were going to act like little trusses for the top mat. Then should pretty much be done with all of this once I come back. One other feature I'd like to talk about, these rings are pretty good little steel. They are hinged, so they're not going to like break from constant twisting. Yeah, so I think they're pretty good quality. They kind of snap together. Alright, I have this thing built up. The blankets are up. You can see it. Oh, you can't really see it like this, but it's about 6 foot, I don't know, 8 or so. I'm 5 foot 10 inches, 5 foot 11 or so, and I have to extend my arm all the way up in order to just get, my hands, get those rings closed up at the top. So, want to talk about the lights. We actually have the batteries, and here's one light right here. And basically the way this works is you take this thing off, kind of wrap, and it'll go around the post like this, So, all right, so I think the doors could be a little bit more high quality, but I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to be changing batteries constantly on this. I'm going to go ahead and drop the batteries in on this, which they do give you for free, so I think that's cool. Very nice touch of them. Looks like I dropped one. Let's see here. Okay. Put those doors back on. Yep. All right, let's see here. Kind of one of these press fits. Maybe. What's going on here? All right, there we go. And then there we go. So we turn this on. Whoa. All right. So yeah, gonna put those in, and looks like I get 2 of them. And batteries follow the back of that. So I have 2 of them. We'll put them in, and we're gonna go inside. Okay, actually, before we go inside, I want to open up this piece, kind of take a look at what's going on here. All right, so saw the tape, and I wanted to cut it open, but oh, there it is. All right, there we go. And there we go. Okay, so that looks like the piece that would be holding the phone. And this is the rack for it. Let's see here what's going on. All right. Okay. And so basically it's just going to mount on. Do this really quickly on the camera. All right, so it has little sliders in it to sort of put it in. Should probably just slide in. Exactly what happens. Okay, so then this one right here is kind of a pressure. So I guess I'm not sure how wide that is, or if that's gonna be wide enough for like a larger tablet, maybe one of those 7-inch ones. Let me just grab my phone real. Oh wait, my phone is on. I'm recording this on my phone, so seems like it probably isn't big enough for a phone. I just really don't know. Maybe if you put it vertically, it'll probably work for a phone. and horizontally for a tablet. So that's basically my best impression. So this one clips on, so I'm guessing it would just clip onto a pole somewhere. And yeah, so now we're gonna go inside because I already have the lights up and give you some thoughts real quick. Okay, so we're gonna go inside here, and yeah, it's gonna be all close-up shots. It's a pretty. It's not as bad as it's gonna sound. Okay, it actually, once you get the doors nice and closed up, you can really hear a difference in the reverb. The the microphone stand I put my own in is partly sticking out of the booth, which is fine. And then right here I have, well, I just put like SM58 on it. And then here's the phone slash tablet rack. So as far as the lights go, they are very bright, which I guess you would need inside of here. And I think just to make it more interesting, I think I'm going to get some of those light filters, you know, something like yellow, blue, red, you know, whatever the singer would want. As far as roominess, boy, all right, so as far as roominess, you know, I'm standing it in the middle right here. You can see it. My arm is all the way out, and basically my palm and my fingers touch it. My palm, you know, I have to kind of like go in a little bit. So it's actually much more roomy than it may appear from the outside. You know, being inside a vocal booth is never like the most comfortable thing for a lot of singers. Uh, Doing, you know, just my general, basically walking around outside saying hello, hello, and coming in here saying hello, hello, there is a marked difference in reverb. So it took me about 10 minutes to tear this thing down, and yes, it does fit entirely within this bag. I have to say that's pretty impressive. Okay, so I'd like to give some final thoughts about this, and for me personally, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. It serves the exact purpose that I want, which is something I could build up and tear down, throw in a bag, and go on my merry way, right? It's something that I actually want to be able to take to someone's home, and they're not going to look at the thing and say, wow, that is really janky looking, right? You'll see a lot of YouTube videos telling you how to build one for like $200, and I think that's a great idea. I think that, you know, there are some things that make this worth more than $200. For example, the blankets are a lot thicker than moving blankets. Uh, you know, the PVC piping is shaped and designed specifically to make the box. There's also the little attachment that you could put your devices, your mobile devices in, like your phone or your tablet. And of course, you get those lights. So you would end up spending more than $200 to get the same thing I have. And also, there's that bag, which, you know, those things tend to not be very cheap, you know. So, and of course, a company has to earn money. So I'm not going to like fault them for that. You know, I think it's a great concept and worth, you know, actually supporting. And that's just all my opinion, of course, right? At $500, you know, it's relatively cheap for music stuff. You know, there are some things that I would complain about with this. And one thing that they obviously can't help is that if you're short, you're like 5'4" you're gonna have some problems building this without a stool. Uh, I've done construction in my life, so I'm kind of used to just cutting things out until it comes together, right? And I think that the build up time for this is about 10 to 15 minutes. The tear down time is about, you know, 10 minutes as well to get it all torn down and put into a bag. This thing is not light, so, you know, it's just, you'll be able to carry it, but it's, you know, you might end up needing to get like a dolly or something like that if it's too heavy for you, which honestly, I wouldn't fault anybody for saying it's too heavy for them. A couple things that I wish that this thing did have is, you know, on their website, you can only buy the mobile booth, right? I would love to see a part where you can buy some replacement pieces, right? The rings may end up breaking. Obviously the strings that you use to hold the lights or as a truss uh, would be, something that's bound to snap or get lost. That would be something to really, like to be able to find replacements for. Uh, I wish that the lights had like some multicolor to them, like they're just bright white, you kind of have to be careful of where you put them or else you're going to blind the singer. I wish that there was some way for, like the door, right? So there's just two blankets, okay? And so, you go in the door, but it's going to be a little bit hard to close. I'll probably have to buy some clothing pins to kind of like close it shut or add Velcro to it so that the singer can close the door behind him or her, right? Just make it a total cocoon, right? Um, Another thing that I think should have been added is a holster for your microphones. I don't mind taking my own, microphone stand, but it's just one more thing that I'm bound to forget when I already have a bag and microphones, and I have to take my stand. And, I just feel like being a vocal booth that should have been added in. Um, so yeah, basically the whole intention of this video is not to encourage you to buy this or discourage you from buying it. It is simply to give you the information that I wish I had before I bought this for myself. It turns out that it seems like it's going to work perfectly for my own use case. So, that's something to think about. Now, at $500, um, it's if you have that budget, you have that set aside, um, you have to ask yourself, do you need something that's going to be a mobile device, or is it time to think about getting sound treatment within your own room to get that to really work well? And that's really up to you. I don't have any opinion about this thing. One thing I will say is that the claim here is that it stops like 80% of reverberations. I have no idea how that stuff works. I just know that an anechoic chamber should stop 100%. So I'm not sure about that claim, but 80%, I'll just have to take their word for it. But otherwise, I think it's a good device. It's a good purchase for me.